What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
It's not like they're just hero bands.
Centaur is just a better hero, you would think, in that position.
Yeah.
The trouble with Axe is that you need Blink. Centaur...
Well, you say that. What happens if he does the Zai build? What if he's played a couple pubs?
That's true.
He could
you know what? I take it back. You have a good point. Vanguard into Manset. We're not high-fiving because it'll hurt the viewers' ears.
It will actually not. I think they'll be fine with it.
I screamed the other day and it came back.
What?
Like, I don't think that will be picked up by the microphone that strongly. That's what I'm saying.
Not a loud...
No. I did not hurt the viewers' ears
Shiva.
just
If your
now.
ears hurt, don't forget to email
I don't
Shiva.
think that this is
that was
big.
proud
That
of
was
you.
I don't think you should continue doing that.
Dire team's turn to pick.
I'm just saying, you're allowed to high five. As long as you disinfect your hands afterwards. Thank you.
All right.
We got the Willow picked up on the side of Smashers.
Oracle pickup. That's the Liquid special. Opens them up for their final 2 core selections. The Liquid opening is kind of how you want to play first pick nowadays, right? You have your 3, 4, 5. You have pretty solid synergy with a multitude of different cores, and you see 4 enemy heroes and decide which way you want to go.
And also it's like teeing up to potentially be like a Leshrac pick for Liquid as well.
Yep.
Because you have the Oracle. And then
Lesh game.
Yeah. And it's just from Smashers, this draft is like the mirror image of that secret game because they replaced the Abaddon with a Warlock for that hill in laning phase. You have it more team fight now, but it's still that Axe Willow lane that they played into.
And I mean, the Oracle versus Warlock is obviously great. You can get rid of those fatal bonds. Also pretty good against the Willow before Shard because those brambles you'll not see that, or well, the Curse Crown will just be off. So I really like this pickup for Liquid. Doesn't mean that they have to for their Snapfire.
And there's the Leshrac pick.
Of course.
There we go.
It's really nice with the Slardar. You have an easy follow-up stun. Great with Oracle, the same way you play a Death Prophet. Keep him alive, allow Lesh to be present inside the fight. But the Edict benefits insanely well from the minus armor too, so.
I just like the fact that Smashers did cover themselves loosely with this PA pick, a hero that thrives at catching the backlines, and Leshrac is a hero that isn't innately tanky. He needs to buy these armor items to play, and you kind of want to greed it out with like the Bloodstone, the Yule's Boot. So it's kind of fourth item that you look towards, maybe the plate mail, Shivas, etc. So PA does do well in this idea, and I think that's a nice kind of forward-thinking pick. They probably will Leshrac at least. Yeah. But a lot of greed right now. Like Axe is has to win the lane. PA has to do well, and I think this Leshrac, as long as there isn't like some hard counter to come into play, he's gonna have a good time mid, and that kind of map pressure that Liquid can apply is going to be prominent.
I'm surprised to see the Tidehunter getting banned out here by Hellbear Smashers. I feel like we're under the assumption that we're still looking for a Mickey hero, depending on who's playing Lesh, because I know that there's multiple targets.
Well, that's
for
like that. Mickey can play the slug.
Exactly, yeah. And with this type of lineup.
So you still wanted to get rid of the Tidehunter then if you're Hellbear Smashers, why?
Yeah, because I think that the main thing here is you want to have PA right now is the one who needs to have the good lane. Like if you play into a Slardar, you have the blink, you have the evasion to deal with the right click damage, and you have Warlock to secure your lane. It's about the PA's timing, and that stops this Leshrac, who should have a good time mid, from having a good game. And I kind of like this kind of forward thinking, simply because imagine if Liquid do run this carry Slardar, you unlock a quick Roshan, now you're playing into like a 15-20 minute timing of Lesh with Aegis, a blinking Slardar, whilst trying to catch the backlines. It's a lot of pressure.
Quick change of topic. Have we ever seen Blitz sit in a chair normally?
No, I don't think he does that.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
This is basically his
that's how you sit in a chair.
Excellent posture.
Not really. I'd hope he doesn't sit like that whilst playing. A bit too relaxed.
And a bit too crooked, because it's like it will be hurting your shoulders if you sit like that too long. But for now, it's nice. You know, it's chill. He's relaxed. We got Queen of Pain as the final ban coming out from Team Liquid.
I'm surprised that Liquid banned Viper.
You should read into these bans though, because like when you pick Sumails here in this position, these two bans are like your buddy. What do you want us to ban? So if you ever play against Liquid, you don't play against Leshrac, maybe Viper Quap are the two ones to have a look at. They ban out the Tide, ban out the Razor. Smashers do have last pick to give Storm ultimately the best aim possible.
Monkey King. Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh, they were telegraphing it with the monkey sounds during the draft.
That's true. They were actually.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then this is why the Viper ban actually has a little bit more notoriety here.
And I like this from Liquid, but Hellbear Smashers, their bans just protect their win condition, which is PA.
Okay,
now it's about what matchup Stormer wants.
What's interesting here is the main nerf to Monkey King was the Ag's not going Roshan, and that's why we haven't seen it picked at all. But because of the Slardar, it kind of bridges that nerf, and it kind of becomes a normal hero once again, because you can easily take that Roshan. So I kind of like how Liquid got to their final point of the draft, where they've enabled Lesh with the Oracle, the Monkey that is near unpicked in DPC, covered by the Slardar. So yeah, that's one there. But Stormer, you have last pick in the draft.
I think he plays Storm. Right? It makes their draft.
Sure, yeah.
The trouble I have with the lineup then is that it's going to take a long time to come online, and there's no natural, like, huge
wind runner.
spike.
If it's Stormer right now, he's like, give me the wind.
I mean,
wouldn't be bad, actually.
It wouldn't be terrible.
It just
he went through a phase. He went through that Wii phase. You know, like every team has that moment where like the Wii Har effect, where you love one hero and you only want to play one hero. Storm went through his Windrunner phase end of season 1, so maybe that could have just
choose your hero.
It will be Zeus.
Okay. I like that a lot. That's a pretty good matchup against the Lesh. In addition, it's a ton of burst for the backline support. They needed some spread damage. Like you can't have two incredibly single target cores
I think my main fear for Smashers, though, is their draft looks pretty good on the idea of one-for-one matchups, but the big team fight, they don't have that simple front line. We don't have the Vanguard buy that stands. Axe is a reinitiator, Warlock plays behind, PA can frontline when BKB. So that's a pretty early, 20-minute window where Liquid can just get the ball rolling.
They don't have any real save either. Like, Razmus is going to need a very solid Axe, like a Seb level TI finals performance, because otherwise his two supports, they just feed to the Liquid.
Their save is like, if they jump someone, we throw every single spell on that spot, and then hopefully they die. And I like the idea of it. It's very skirmishing and aggressive. That's how they've won their single games that they've had in the 3 series that they've unfortunately not been able to win. But
will they win this time around? Will this be a game they'll take?
I think Liquid's draft, it just ticks so many boxes. Sumail Leshrak has played so well, covered by the Oracle. The Monkey King's good against the Axe, covered by the Slard off of Roshan. I like what Liquid has.
You got to go even in lanes and then have a pretty decisive advantage eked out before Liquid have BKBs. Because once they have triple BKB, like Zeus,
PA has to then have like a 2-item advantage with that BKB timing. Okay. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game. No, it's
Liquid favored.
Liquid favored, but fun game.
Yeah. You got Zeus PA. Imagine this goes late, going high ground, dagger, bolt,
Love
bolt,
it.
bolt. Oh,
I know. Love that too. We're gonna head over to Moxie and Purge.
Well, it definitely sounds like a game indeed. Daggers, bolts, everything. But the whole question comes down to, that laning stage, Purge.
Yeah, laning stage is going to be a big deal. Axe has been a pretty strong offlaner, especially for Hellbear Smashers. Vanguard is very buff. It's basically strong on Centaur and Axe because Vanguard is strong, and their heroes just need tankiness to farm and do damage because of the way their passives work. It just naturally kills creep. So one thing that Liquid's doing to offset this is Monkey King, who's going to run right into the enemy team.
Mickey just wants to, show some dominance here, play with their mind. So he's not afraid of anything.
And he's going to go here. Here we go.
Cookie coming out from Quad with a nice crush over on the back lines. Stormstormer trying to do some damage. They've got the fatal bounce down. Ace is sitting very, very low here. And it's going to be Sumail who falls first, followed by Ace. Koifa now is running for his life with those fatal bonds and whatnot. Not going to be able to keep alive during all of that.
I mean, it's a little... Yeah, it's kind of how I feel too, Tofu. They actually just saw the whole enemy team there, and they just walked high ground into him. They're like, yeah, this will be okay. And it looked good at first, right? They did a cookie stun on multiple heroes. Boundless strike hit like 4 people, and the stun duration just got buffed. And then they hit him with, Leshrak stun as well. It was like 3 or 4 stuns in a row. But they actually still didn't kill the PA because they were attacking low ground to high ground. Right-click damage is a huge aspect of the early game, and they just missed too much. So they got first blooded. Not looking great for the start for Liquid, but it's fine. First blood.
It definitely took quite a bit to take down that PA, but eventually fall. But again, a reset here. Everyone's headed to their lanes. Haven't really missed too much other than those couple kills. So, anyone's
some TPs. They do bring magic sticks out for the safe lane on the Liquid side. This is one thing I really liked about their draft. They picked Oracle after the Axe. One of the nice things about Axe is that he casts Battle Hunger on your supports and basically works them down with help from his other support. But with Fortune's End, they can dispel this. It's going to take away a lot of... See, there it is instantly. They just dispel the Battle Hunger as soon as it comes out. So it will prevent Insania from using his nuke offensively, but it is going to make sure that they don't take too much damage. And Monkey King usually does good against melee heroes anyways.
Cut the bait.
Just a little bit of skirmishing down here in this bottom lane. You have some nice setup, but of course you can see how carefully that they're playing, making sure that Tofu's not too far forward, but he is getting those clicks off. And Koifa being tanky up here, just gonna try to harass the best that he can. Cookie out coming out from Taigo will be able to put a little damage on Ace, but he seems not too bothered with it.
Yeah, just save some Quake's life when he gets pressured like that. So, and then now that Tofu hits level 2, he's got Sage's Mask, he's probably got his Ring of Basilis coming. No, he actually buys more regen, actually. But either way, he'll be able to guarantee that Ace has a pretty good laning stage. And PA should be semi-okay against Slardar anyways.
Is this a situation where you would have liked to see him pick up the Basilis earlier instead of going for that extra regen?
No, it's fine to get the extra salves, honestly. Like, I think they're just trying to get past like the first couple of pulls. Like Basie is more common, but he just wants to make sure that Ace keeps his HP as full as possible. And look how much damage they can do between Cookie and Bash to the Deep and like Slither and Crush. That's a lot of damage. So if he just gets his PA past that point and then gets to like level 2 Shadow Ward, he should be able to offset all this harass. They're just trying to keep Ace in here getting last hits. They know how dangerous this lane is.
Yes, and it is very, very important that he gets some good timings. We talked about that in the draft, about how important it is that, you know, they have this certain window that they have to play within. Otherwise, it starts to get very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a dangerous thing that you have to be careful of. And it's good to buy extra regen, frankly. Might see Tofu die here, though.
Sitting very low. He has Fairy Fire, though. Oh, last click coming in from Taiga. Left Ace now wants to get something for this, but does have to be a little bit careful because Koifa is nearby. And he is going to put the pressure down on Ace.
Koifa messing up a little bit there. Briefly stopped moving. Thought he was ready to right-click, but his hero wasn't ready, so he stopped moving. And then he lost his opportunity to get his 4th hit in, which would have been a bash. So could have done a little bit more damage to him back to punish him there. But either way, for Liquid, lane's pretty even right now. Sumail and Zeus both farming like crazy. Neither person has bothered to deny a single creep yet. It's not very normal for mid laners, but I guess if both heroes are really good at nuking, it's kind of hard to deny every last hit.
I would be very impressed if they had a substantial amount of denies using those particular heroes. We got one. We got one over on the list track now. There we go.
They're basically just trying not to take damage because they both have lightning jump abilities. So every time that their opponent goes for a last hit, they can either try to deny or they can walk away from the creep wave. So it's just safer to not go for those denies and take extra damage.
I didn't think about the fact that you have lightning on lightning action here in the mid lane. We'll be interested to see. Oh, this Taiga gets another kill here over onto Tofu. Man, Ace is just getting very badly harassed here from this duo. And like you said, it is difficult for them down here on the side of Smashers to approach this creep wave with the stuns.
It's such a good dual lane too, because Will Shredder is not surprising at all for Sapphire to pick, but it lowers armor, and all of Slaughter's damage does physical, including his nukes. So yeah, it amplifies everything he does. So it makes it very easy to kill a hero like Warlock, who is slow and doesn't have that much armor in the lane stage. Tofu has to walk back the lane, by the way. This is his 2nd death now, so a little bit rough for PA.
Definitely rough for Ace here, as he doesn't have anyone to protect him. He doesn't have anyone to leap to either if he wants to try to blink away. Koifa's going for the dive here. They want this kill. They don't have the mana, though. They do get the stun off, though. And because of the fact that Tofu has to walk back, they can just run down this PA easily.
A long way to see you die.
What a statement, Koifa. My goodness.
Had to drag that one out there. Just hit us with the 1-2 really quick, like most players. Really want us to feel that. Gotta get in their heads if you're winning the lane now. Yeah, if you look at the rest of the draft for Hellbear, if your mid laner is a Zeus, Zeus can do carry-like attributes. It's not the same as a lot of other semi-carry mid laners. I would say Leshrac is stronger as well. Here's the Cookie initiation on Tofu. He did a great dodge there, but the hero is still really vulnerable. Look how much damage he's taken from those right clicks and the minus armor. It is just a lot to handle.
Yeah, I do think it definitely feels like a bit of a 4 protect 1 sort of strat coming out here from the Hellbear Smashers. And we do see that pretty often there with Ace. Oh, top lane, though. They're trying to make some plays over here. Mickey gonna get held up here into that. Brambles does go for the dodge. Sani is still waiting nearby. Rasmus, oh, the Zeus! The Zeus ulti. And, of course, the voice line. Stormstormer will happily secure that kill on Mickey.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh man, that's a really good job dodging the nuke with Mischief. He would have died otherwise, but he was ready to use his wand. But as soon as he ticked below 225 health, that is when Zeus nailed him with the ulti. Zeus only does 300 damage. It was buffed up a couple patches ago, semi-recently though. So yeah, the math is pretty easy at that point this early in the game. So he just took a look at it and boom, zapped him from the sky.
Gotta watch out for those sky zaps. Huh? Stormstormer walking back home here. Probably gonna get some regen, pick up some items and whatnot. And Sumail's gonna have a little bit of breathing room here in the mid lane. Still Stormstormer comes right back again, of course.
Level 7 on Zeus, normal skill build so far with the max arc lightning. This just allows you to farm really rapidly, kill small camps, kill creep waves, and then he'll transition later into Bolt when he actually does start ganking. For now, he'll be more than effective, but I think the scary thing about Zeus's game is he's going to get ran at a lot. Zeus is a hero that doesn't like it when people are on top of him, So if Slaughter gets on top of him, if Monkey King gets on top of him, if Leshrac gets on top of him, that's really dangerous for him.
We've got some nice spins here in the top lane, but Mickey's going to be just fine. The Vanguard is completed on Axe, of course, so things are going to get a little bit more difficult, but they do have a decent amount of magic nuke damage as well, so.
Axe got both of the kills in the early lane stage or something, like before the lane started. Was it him that got them all? Because he's got 2 kills right now and an assist. And this Vanguard is really fast, guys. Like, it is really, really quick. He even moves over to stop Insania from stacking camps to accelerate either Leshrac or the Monkey King. So, I mean, he at this point, having Vanguard, he's already going to lane really good against Monkey King. Monkey King normally is a little bit scary as when you're playing off lane versus him, but with this fast Vanguard pickup and Monkey King's recent nerfs, it's not terrible. And it looks to me like Mickey's just going to basically dodge the lane a bit. He's going to max out Primal Spring right away because that way he can just farm still without having to contest the Axe. And we'll probably just see them kind of ignore each other if possible.
Is this a situation, like we said, you know, Mickey might just go off to the jungle, do his own thing. Do they want to rotate anyone up to kind of protect that tower, or do you just kind of think, all right, well, it's an Axe, there's not too much to do? Bottom lane, actually, they'll hold that Thought Stormer making his way over. Samil already here. Getting into position, is going to run into Stormer here. Gonna try to burn him down. They have the Lightning Split Earth to follow up. They're gonna try to heal him up, but they can't do it fast enough. So they'll get that kill. The cookie out forward. Samel just running down Tofu. Does have Ace on him, and the teleports are coming out here. They're trying to just keep Samel alive. They do manage it. Rasmus now is here, and they have the Fatal Bombs down. Samel ticking down. He was gonna get dunked, though, by Rasmus. As they'll go right back in. Again, that little shredder, though. Oh, it feels so good if you're a Snapfire. Rasmus, get the call off. Get that. Doesn't get dunked, though. Eventually, though, Tyga. Now says that.
Vanguard are very effective, sure, to block a lot of this damage, but Slaughter just does so much physical, especially with the corrosive haze. Like, he just got absolutely blown up. So good fight there for Liquid. Rotated to the safe lane and killed PA without PA getting a golden experience. Stormer died instantly on the Zeus as well. Just if you get it, like I said, if one of those heroes gets on top of you, you're gonna have a really bad time. And he doesn't have Lightning Bolt, but I don't think it would have protected him much here. He's just trying to get as much damages in as possible before he dies. He doesn't even get a chance to ulti, though. He died so quick. Koifa in trouble, though.
Koifa turns right back around. Is he in trouble, though? I don't know. They managed to get the kill over on Ace. Koifa somehow still alive after all is said and done here. Tried to hide in the tree line. Eventually does get found by Tofu's Golem. Tofu sitting very low himself.
Another great trade for Liquid. Yeah, they lost their offlaner, but they killed the carry first.
And Samel dives mid and grabs himself a kill here over on Gilgear. Rasmus, though, is getting into position. He's going to walk right into Samel. The go for the call, gets the taunt, the split earth, though, by just a little bit of time, so he doesn't get those spins that he's hoping for. He's just trying to duke him around. He's going to go pick up that rune, start bottling through. He does have the Bellanger on. Oh, at the last second, though.
You went for it. Rasmus tried to use a chop the last time he died, right before he died, to do some damage, which was a good play because it like almost got him a kill. But the problem was that when he runs into Sumail, which should have been an easy kill, like really easy kill, ended up being complicated. Like he should have just called him right here, battle hungered, and chopped within one spin. But he didn't have it, so he had to do this like elaborate chase him game. And Sumail's like, oh, I'm gonna outplay you because I am the king. And he's not wrong, but he messed up a little. He just got watch you right click
right there.
Here he attacks and he got a spin.
He got a spin.
He just didn't right click. He would have gotten the kill. That was actually so fun. Like that was a 20% chance for Misery to get that kill. And he got it. It was insane.
It always feels like the percentages are against us whenever you play a game, right? In that case, though, Rasmus has to be very, very happy. You can see that little smile at the end of that. He does die, but not before taking down the king first.
He got 400 gold for that. Like, that's a lot. That's going to get him a really fast blink dagger here. 4-2-2 for Rasmus. He's like the one guy on Hellbear Smashers that's having a really solid game. So he's got to be the one that makes his team have action that's good for them. They need a blink dagger on him at a good speed. He'll have it, but can they find the right engagements? We'll see.
I feel like that's frequently how Rasmus ends up playing over here on Hellbear Smashers. Kisses will get tossed out as they have the Boundless over here in Storm. It's a lot of damage. They try to save them, not going to be able to, though. Long range kisses from the other side of your screen that you can't even see. Too much damage.
That was so impressive. What does he do? Like, he can't do anything to that. He got hit by a level 2 Boundless Strike, which did like 150 physical damage tops. And it's just kisses. You're dead. Goodbye, Zeus. No mobility. They put a heal on it. But like, he needed a Force Staff or a Glimmer or something. And it's so early into the game that it's just not feasible. So now they just keep punishing the two heroes that are really important. The PA and the Zeus. And yeah, again, Rasmus is having a really good game so far. But normally you just like are oppressive against the enemy carry, and he hasn't really done that much. Monkey King is still having a pretty good game.
My question to you is, now that, you know, Rasmus is going to have that Blink Dagger, who is the target, though? Because you have to go after, you know, this Oracle, right? And you don't have great solutions to jumping into those back lines right now.
Good point. Yeah, if he does grab an important core like Leshrac has the Yules to defend himself, and Oracle's going to sit behind him. So it's complicated, absolutely. It's going to be easy to win the fights here.
Bloodthirstiness coming out here over on the back lines. Poivu will take down Gilgir very quickly. Rams get tossed out. They're trying to get the Terrorize off, but it's just not enough here. Courier went down. Gilgir also to fall.
This is the other weird thing about picking Zeus against Oracle, is that if they do focus one of your guys, you don't even have to use False Promise. You just put Fate's Edict on somebody, and they just don't die to magic damage. So they're going to smoke and go take an engagement here, but not too many ultis burn by Liquid. In fact, they've got time, 10 seconds to kisses.
Smoke on smoke. Koifa backing off.
No, because Blur is keeping PA invisible. Really nice for Ace to play the frontliner.
I'm sure they have a feeling, though. As you can see already, they're making the wrap around. It's very effective. They'll pick up Bounty Rune. We've got the hood completed now for Leshrac. And look at this Sumail. He's hungry. He wants Ace. Teleports are coming out, though. The immediate jump forward, though, coming out from Rasmus, but they have to be careful. Before we get many of his spells, Cookie half forward over from the back line. Now they'll get 8 as well. And now that Yules binds, that's a little bit more time. The battle is coming through. They get the kill on Rasmus. Gilgir running for his life. Sumail, though, he wants Stormstormer. And by God, they get a team wipe.
Plays by Sumail. I mean, kind of dangerous at first, because he again walked in not knowing that his opponents had vision, so they got to initiate. But like, we didn't see Oracle ulti. He got counter initiated on, but he put Fate's Edict on Leshrac, which bought him 3 seconds of basic invulnerability. And with this fast hood build, even after that runs out, he's still tanked a lot of damage. Here he is again, walking in. He gets initiated on. He's taking a ton of Zeus damage. There's a golem. It wasn't a fatal bombs, it doesn't look like, though. That was a pretty good catch, or at least not enough heroes in the group. But Taiga did a huge amount of damage. Oracle dies, Mickey comes, and Sumail just runs him down at that point.
I guess Radiant fortified their structures.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like some of the best initiations that we're going to really see here coming out from the side of Hellbear Smashers, other than, you know, maybe the PA gets like a huge crit. But
or like a 2 or 3 man call would be ideal, basically. Catch Oracle plus whoever you want to kill.
That's going to be so hard, Purge. Like how Insanias isn't going to, I mean, if he does, it'll be a bit surprising because his positioning. People who play Oracle tend to have very good positioning at this level of Dota. They're not going to allow themselves to be sitting directly next to their core generally.
Yep, that's usually the case. When you play the hero a lot, you're going to be used to these patterns and where to stand. I would even say that him getting killed that easily was a little bit atypical, but the fight still worked out really good for them. Rasmus pressuring Taiga here. He's just gonna leave. Just gonna say goodbye. DP's away.
Now there's another problem with their draft here too, is that they just don't have great catch beyond, you know, the initial initiation.
Unless other heroes are nearby. Little terrorized here, trying to keep him alive, but he ends up going down. It's a blink pressure from Quakefoot, basically. Blink stun combo. Leshrac runs at people. Does he have his Eternal Shroud coming? He does. We haven't seen this item too much in the last it's a DPC. It was built a lot in pubs right when it came out, and then people kind of realized, hey, it's not really that good. It's basically just a hood with spell lifesteal. But this game on Leshrac, who does a massive amount of magic damage, is pretty useful, especially because it's going to give him more mana pool in team wins. So, Bloodstone generally is seen as better. Those are very similar things, but it's just a lot more expensive. But yeah, it goes to the Shroud this game. We want to see if it works out well.
They're beating on Dire's top
There it is, and the towers are just melting with this Leshrac being on the map. And look at this play already. Another smoke coming up. They're hungry. They're hoping they can find another pick-off here. As they find Stormstormer, the blink initiation immediately just blown up as Taiga collects yet another kill. And this is going to open up the Roshan. Like we said before, you know, in the past, you know, Monkey King, not quite as popular because of the fact that he did get nerfed with that Axe. He can't just go and take Rosh, but, you know, you've got Rosh enabler here. Got a couple, actually, although buyback coming out now from Stormstormer. They want to fight Rasmus, looking for this opening. Does manage to go and call down the Monkey. They drop the rock over the back lines. Mickey will get blown up, but the Snapfire Kiss is coming forward. They'll find the kill over on 2. Gilgir and Tofu will both die.
Not terrible. They got a buyback out of that, and pull the golem as well. Basically, when Monkey comes up, there's pretty much nothing that Hellbears can do to stop them. That was Zeus ult also. So they should be able to just buy a little time, maybe grab some mana and take it again. But Monkey King got pretty easy on the backline. They saw him jump onto the tree due to this ward. They used call down, and then Zeus on the backline behind that just did a huge amount of damage. So he got destroyed. Lots of magic damage, and maybe Mickey gonna have to rethink his item build a bit here. It's going Maelstrom into Manta is what he's playing. There's the call. Zeus gonna come from the side, just do a huge amount of damage here. He ends up getting killed. But on the other side, Sumail runs in, cleans up the supports, basically makes the rest of the fight over. But if they kill Zeus again, he's gonna be dead for a long time, and his net worth is really struggling now. He's got 5,000 net worth. Sumail has almost 10.
Definitely feels a bit spooky here going on for Hellbear Smashers because they needed to be coming out on top of this laning before that Liquid really started to run away with it. And I definitely feel now with an 8K net worth lead. They also have the Aegis on Sumail now, that things are getting a little bit more difficult. Although, Koifa? You gonna go for Rasmus? I guess he didn't see him. Didn't quite see him there. You have the ward, though.
But if Rasmus reads the ward, it's gonna spot him, actually. Okay, he saw where
he definitely saw him that time.
Oh, they spotted the Gilger sitting behind, so he knows it's gonna be too hard. But I like this lane ward, pretty useful to spot some people coming to lane to get farming, that kind of thing. But Sumail almost, actually he does have it coming. His BOTs are finished. So now he's got BOT duels and Eternal Shroud. His raw HP's a little low, but his next item is
oh my god, Stormstormer. That's a dead god. That is a dead Zeus and a half. My goodness. Nice solo kill there from Koifa.
Koifa's doing such a good job fitting into this offlane role. Like he's adapting so well. Like he's getting solo kills. I feel like he's in the mind of like the core for so long that like now he knows how to hunt them. And now his role is all about hunting or initiating. So it kind of like he just runs into ace as well here. And he's just creating so much space. Probably, yeah, he can't get the bash in time.
We're going to try to root Gilgear into place. Our eyes off. They're running kind of towards him, though, in this case. They'll fall off the Yules, and they'll just nuke down Gilgear.
Sweet ablution.
Their map control is just overwhelming. 10k gold advantage now. The fact that they can get solo kills with just one hero just changes so much, because that means that everybody else on their team can go pressure other places in the lane. So, and every time they get a kill, it just gives them a lot of space to push out creep waves, to get farm, to get Monkey King to a place where he's just very tanky as well. And eventually he doesn't have to worry about the game.
The classic, you can't see me, I'm just going to burn your tower down from the tree line. Always a fun time when you're playing with Shrek.
Radiant's top tower.
Leshrac just gives you so much advantages here. You don't have to worry about your team fight composition. You just go stand near a tower, and the towers die, as long as your opponents can't react in time.
And Sumail is definitely being as active as possible around this map. Never staying in one place for too long, and finding kills wherever he seems to go. See that net worth difference here. It's difficult. It's
like they saw Ace on the previous creep wave, and then they just run 3 heroes in, like, oh yeah, let's just kill him. And he anticipates this, of course, so he walks away from the creep wave and then has to go farm somewhere else. But even making him leave here, it's just slowing down his farm speed. He just got his first piece of his BKB. He absolutely needs BKB to fight somebody like Leshrac.
And we do get the BKB completed now for Slardar too. This guy is already such a threat. Every time that he manages to run into someone, it seems like it results into a kill.
So tanky.
Here, how they decide to approach this next fight. They do have that double damage over on Sumail, and they're just going to invade the triangle. Immediately, Brambles will hold them in place. I'll just walk into another one too, you know. Big deal. Enjoying himself a nice rose garden.
Clearing him for the team, that's all.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a team player, that's Sumail. Top lane, ooh, ace.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, they found themselves, they find Rasmus over here instead. They'll be able to do the Yule set up. Long range Snapfire kiss. The Snapfire does not care because they have plenty of damage as Sumail gets himself a kill on Rasmus, and he's just running down Stormstormer here with that lightning. He wants his monkey Mickey coming in. They'll get a double kill now for Sumail.
That's Rasmus saving PA's life, genuinely, or like giving him a really good chance to live, because that was Sumail was going to TP right on top of PA. Rasmus interrupts it with the call, but he just gets punished. The Yules ends up catching Rasmus. The Blade Mail looks good on paper. It is pretty good against Leshrac, but take the magic immunity. So,
boy, trying to be when he went 8. Not sure to be enough because Mickey's here, though. No worries, Koifa. I will help you out, my friend, and we'll kill her together. But I'm gonna get the last hit, says Mickey.
Sumail is still pressuring the tower. Like, they're just doing everything all over the map. It's really, really good so far. Shards up for Gilger, so they do get more Bramble Mages at least. But downside is that they just don't have an easy way to pressure right now. As long as Oracle sits behind Leshrac and gives him 100% spell or magical resistance, like there's just no damage being reflected. The Zeus is like completely nullified here. It makes me really question why they thought picking Zeus was a good idea, but there must have been something there that they felt the vision advantage or helps win side lanes or shuts down the Monkey King. It does do that, but against the Lesh with Oracle in a good position, it feels really hard.
Definitely see how difficult it feels, but you know, they're going to try to go and poke their way through the jungle, set themselves up perhaps to get this middle tower. They are smoked up. Rasmus looking for a good pick off here. Careful. No one's really showing themselves too much. The scan does go out. Rasmus wants
they don't even have like an easy way to push up the creep wave, so like as long as Liquid just doesn't show, it's not that big of a deal. Like, if the creep waves don't get on the tower, then Liquid just stays hidden and sits in their good positions while they read out the smoke. So, very difficult here for Hellbears to grab a kill or pressure the tower, at least until Ace gets BKB, and he's still struggling. 1,000 gold away.
Did get a Blink Dagger picked up now for Stormer, so he's going to try to have some better positioning this time around. It's so rough with what they've got going on. Look at this, Cement, just no fear at all. Knows that he's got his teammates behind him here. He's gonna get some of this damage. Long range snapfire kisses. They just blow up Gilgear almost immediately as Rasmus running for his life. He's just taking too much damage as they're all on Koifa. He wants this. He wants to jump forward. He's got that BKB. He's a big old fish, and he's looking. Can he grab anyone in time? He's got his eyes on Rasmus. He's just gonna chase him down. Mickey, though, jumping backlines into this base here. Koifa, and they go and they just blow up Storm. They get the kill on Rasmus, and they just call GG. They've had enough of Liquid just running at their faces.
Game was genuinely over. It might have taken another 5 minutes or something like that, but it was very clear. Like, Mortimer's Kisses felt like the most overpowered ultimate in the game there because of how difficult it was for them to run away from Liquid when they got ran at.
Number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free. I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, I'd rather be a dreamer. I'd rather be free. I'd rather be a leader. I'd rather be a queen. I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer. I'd rather be clean. I'd rather be a poser in a magazine. I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. It's plain and simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn. Your pawn. Your pawn. My love was in ever again. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never love. A river through your bluff, I will be enough, enough, enough. My love was in ever again. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. Something you can never take, but it's not uncommon to forsake. Got a chronic urge to complicate. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. Feeling I have nothing left to hide. I'll say what you know it when it's right. Keep it simple now, living it before I die. Think of love like a friend, not an enemy. My love was in ever again. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
Radiant team band. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds left. Don't freeze up. Radiant team's turn to pick.
Game 2 of Team Liquid versus Hellbear Smashers coming your way here. DreamLeague Season 15 powered by Intel. It's the upper division of the Western European DPC League, and Hellbear Smashers have not got a single series win under their belts, but so far it hasn't looked too bad considering they've been able to take a game off of every opponent so far. But can they do that this time around? Because that first game, whew, that was not close.
No.
And we are about to find out if they can take game 2. There needs to be a couple of draft changes coming out here, T.
Yeah, and first of all, the Abaddon gets through. Liquid in the previous series, they banned out Invoke and Abaddon. This time, they let that through. They let Abaddon free, banning out Snapfire instead.
Yep.
I think Snapfire does make more sense when you consider the way Liquid like to operate their drafts.
5
It's the
seconds
massive
remaining.
mind summer pressure, and then we saw so many uncontested fire bombs just dropping in.
Pew, pew,
Neither Hellbear Smashers support could do anything about it.
It's also a product of the first pick.
Dire team's turn to
Smashers, now their first pick,
Enchantress.
Liquid wants to ban on Snapfire themselves because they want to give it away. And it's like, what do they rate more? The Snapfire that they just won with, or this? And then, yeah, instantly the Enchantress. I think the most enjoyable draft that Liquid play around is when it's the +4 Enchantress.
Yep.
The fact that we got to see how tanky and how obnoxious, this hero
10
is
seconds remaining.
in the
Radiant
4-roll, going for the
team's turn
solo
to
crest,
pick.
going for the pipe, tanking up pretty quickly, and the force is this is a scary lane already now.
I was about to comment that they weren't going to go Slardar because you have that Abaddon for the easy counter initiate. Now you remove the stun and the minus armor debuff, but they go for it anyway. So it could also just be a product of new roles, right?
10
Coifa's
seconds remaining.
recently moved to offlane. There might not be many heroes they have with 1 and 3 flexibility.
5
I think it's like
seconds remaining.
two things
Turn
here,
to
because Smashers, when they normally pick the Abaddon, it's, yeah, here you go, with, as I say, with one of those bigger carries than like normally Medusa. And sure, now Medusa, okay time in lane if the Abaddon's able to support, but I feel like Enchilada, they're going to be okay. Abaddon, he provides
Dire team
like,
ban.
defensive. For example, if this was a troll pick, I'd be favoring Smashers so much more because you have an independent carry that can play into the physical damage,
Yeah.
but can also be left alone because Abaddon doesn't apply pressure. Medusa, though,
Radiant
if left
team
on this
ban.
island with no real kind of enable other than a heal and a shield, it can maybe be a bit worrisome. Going back to your point about Slardar, though, I think just the clean concept of annoying in lane and instant Roshan is such high value for Liquid.
Yeah, it's true.
With the pace that they play compared to just going for more of a utility off lane because
10
it takes away that
seconds
clean
remaining.
timing to play around. And now we get to see
5
into the
seconds remaining.
brain of Ace, because every ban will most likely be the I don't want to play into this matchup.
Yeah, Anti-Mage, Phantom Lancer, probably the easiest two.
Ooh.
I just hope that they actually go for stuns
Yep.
because I see Medusa bad and I don't want to have a draft that just can't actually team fight.
We actually have Liquid being the one to ban out the Leshrac this time around.
I think it's when you talk about stuns, if you look through all of Smash's drafts, they often only have, 2 clean stuns and the rest are built around roots or slows and stuff. So
Dire team's
Smash's,
turn to
What's the
ban.
record again?
I wasn't saying it was working well, Kyle.
Oh, just for clarity.
It's a bit rude here, Kyle, aren't you?
Record of what?
He's just asking me to say that Smashers have not won a series yet. He's trying to belittle Smashers right now.
They have won a game
A series,
against
sorry.
everybody.
Kyle's just being a bit mean, but it's
10
fine. We
seconds
forgive him,
remaining.
and we're moving
Tundra,
on.
Secret, and OG have
Radiant
all
team
dropped
ban.
games.
But
I would-
if they drop
can
2
you-
more stuns, they
can
could have
you
won the
compare-
series.
Can you compare stuns drafted in the games they won versus the games they lost?
Okay. Game 1, no, that you can't compare that.
Okay.
Ace has played a lot of race games.
I think that OG series.
Oh, you just looked at my note. Give me a second, Kyle. I'm crunching the
10
numbers.
seconds.
They lost with the Shaman.
All right,
That's
so
a lot of
they won a
disables.
game where they had
5
literally
seconds remaining.
1 and a bit stun, all right, against Tundra. They won
They-
the series against Secret with
No
1
stuns.
Axcool, a Root, and an Invoker.
No stuns.
They did triumphant against OG with a Leshrac many stun. 1
Dire
stun.
team's turn to
Lion,
ban.
many stun.
stuns.
2 stun. And a Wraith King, 1 stun.
1
so
stun.
I rest my case.
That literally did not
that,
support your
if anything,
case.
2 out of the 3 victories
Yes.
were without stuns.
Well, the more okay, you're omitting the part where the Medusa Abaddon that worked had the benefit of an Invoker and a Bounty Hunter, so the whole draft can
10
play with a
seconds
hell of a lot
remaining.
more pace. And there's a built-in steroid for their Medusa,
5
which is
seconds
why
remaining.
Invoker is first banned out from Liquid.
Memes aside, though, Smashers have to draft more presence in the team fights. The games that they have played so far, they have been so close, but
Dire
it feels
team's
like if they
turn
had
to
that extra component of presence in
Radiant
team
team's turn
fights,
to pick.
it would be so much easier. So as much as we've kind of gone around this 1 or 2 minute circle of stuns and stuff, it is critical that they have that. Liquid now going for the Warlock. Both side lanes are going to be, one's pure aggression, the other is fully supporting enabling. And I think Spectre for Liquid rise up a little bit more because Spectre Medusa
10
as
seconds
an old
remaining.
classic combo to the old
really
days
nice.
of time.
Upheaval is also quite nice.
5 seconds remaining.
Medusa
I can leave.
should do
if you
okay.
like.
I asked him a question. Medusa, what?
I thought it was a question to the floor. No, please.
They're
Yeah, I would say that Spectre should do perfectly fine in that, because the key thing with Medusa is getting on top of her and kind of killing her quickly. Spectre can buy both Skadi and Diffusal if needed with the Manta. But also Medusa can outpace that type of lineup. You go for Manta plus 1 item Butterfly, let's say, you can run over the time needed. What's your thoughts on the matchup, Carl?
10
Warlock
seconds remaining.
involved against the enemy draft. Upheaval, I think, is an excellent area control. It's
5
one of the
seconds
few
remaining.
disables Abaddon can't really deal with. I think that's a key when you play against this 5 position Abaddon. Some form of control that just can't be denied. Doom isn't ideal against Dusa, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's a bit awkward because of the Earth Spirit pick. But I'm telling you, last pick Sniper against Medusa. Sniper against Dusa. Super
Who would
effective.
play?
I think Terrorblade's also a possibility.
Would Mickey or Samil play?
Yeah, either one.
Okay.
No, Sniper's the matchup. I remember like 2016, 17. It's like, yo guys, let's pick Sniper against Medusa mid. It's
It
like,
works.
You can never walk high ground.
So far, Medusa has not been played mid for Hellbear Smashers, though it has been played safe lane.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's just throughout the game.
Yeah,
It's-
the idea.
You have last pick, so Liquid here. They
You
don't
want to
have
see the
to
true male
address,
Sniper. That's what we're talking about.
they don't need to address the Medusa yet, but they'd like to keep the draft open if possible. I think you just pick Sumail's hero here, and then you can still flex the Slard Art to a carry, but that's really not necessary. You see the Dusa, you once again see Hellbear Smashers and their win condition.
We're going to see a new
Real
hero
early.
Sumo, right? 'Cause
Yep.
He's played Leshrac
And Puck.
and he's played Puck.
Yep.
So this game will be Sumo's 3rd hero of the DPC.
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Death Prophet's also quite nice. That was something that I think it was, I don't remember if it was the old
Radiant team's
Vici or
turn
IG, but they used to do DP against Dusa and just take towers really early on, stress map control. Void is awkward though. I would have preferred what you were going for, T. I think Spectre would have been quite nice.
Void is like, you're playing into the fact that Medusa also needs time to farm, and that's where Void as a hero
10 seconds
isn't too good in the
remaining.
game, because the pressure that teams can apply right now is very high. But when
5
the enemy picks a
seconds
carry that
remaining.
is a little bit more jungle orientated, it enables you to pick a greedy hero. So that's where Void comes into play. It leans on Liquid's team strength rather than the matchup itself, because of course Void has damage issues going into Medusa. That is slightly offset from Fatal Bonds of Warlock. The haze from the Slaughter.
Did Misery change his shirt?
I wasn't looking that closely.
I think he did.
What's his shirt now?
It now says electric.
Yeah, it's
No, oh no, he had a hoodie on game 1, so he probably just took off the hoodie.
Okay.
now it's time to get serious. You know,
Yeah.
the long sleeves, I will say, not to make excuses, but that would explain a lot of Hellbear Smashers' inability to win that last game. If you're wearing long sleeves, it can
Radiant
mess
team's
with
turn to
the
ban.
logistics of your elbow tilt, and it can throw off the balance of your wrist on the desk.
No, but that only happened in the draft though. The mistakes with the
See,
draft phase.
his sleeves are up too. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a new and rejuvenated Hellbear Smashers lineup now that the sleeves are up.
Okay, does the Queen of Pain fit in that new and rejuvenated
seconds remaining.
lineup?
Into a Faceless Void and a Slardar. Could be better, could be worse.
The last time that we
remaining.
saw Hellbear Smashers play the Queen of Pain was when they were against Secret, and they had the Beastmaster, and Stormstormer did die like 2 or 3 times by himself.
Yeah.
In concept though of why they picked the Quap, it's the essence of that quick Orchid and that explosive damage. They have 2 front lines that enable heroes like
Dire
Quap to
team
get that
ban.
perfect jump in, get that big Sonic Wave, and Medusa is such a kind of soak of the fight, you should always be able to play around it with Queen of Pain.
I think it's also the laning phase where you have an Earth Spirit who can now actually roam into a lane and find a kill. Abaddon and Medusa, you really can't be
Radiant
active in
team's
that lane.
turn to
Maybe a
ban.
teleport roll through can provide some sort of counter initiation, but you now have 2 strikers to try and make aggressive moves on the map and in theory dominate the mid lane. But as we've discussed, that's pretty tough to do nowadays with all the runes.
Yeah, you're not
and you
winning lane
give
games.
Liquid last pick as well to address
10
this. I
seconds
think
remaining.
I like
Viper's a
the-
must ban.
I just like the idea of maybe not Quap, but if it was any
5
other
seconds
spirit, I think
remaining.
our kind of angle of this would be different. But it's a mid hero that plays the mid and instantly pivots to making plays on the map, right? Like if Medusa's free farming
Dire
and you
team's
just bring the
turn to
Quap in
ban.
as well, now you're getting a kill and you're doing really well. You can instantly play
Radiant
into top.
team's turn to
They're
pick.
leaving the last pick for Misery. So with the Earth Spirit, should be a more lane dominant hero because that's what doesn't provide much. So you need a bit more presence.
Really
it just
good.
gives Quap a way to pivot around the map.
Good bans. They're both excellent against Void in the lane and throughout the game.
And right now, realistically, I think Centaur's the only option.
Why is Centaur?
remaining.
We just saw him get first 2'd like
Yeah.
every game in Eastern Europe, and now it's
5
completely
seconds
ignored.
remaining.
The difficulty of Centaur this
Dire
game is you
team's
play
turn
around
to pick.
movement, and of course Chrono mitigates that.
Venomancer.
But, okay, It's Rasmus. He loves the Venom monster. There we go.
Yep. There it is.
All right, you're just gonna try and win lanes hardcore, get a quick man to butterfly on Medusa, and just run down the lanes and win the game. That's their plan right now.
Yeah, because Venom doesn't really play together with Queen of Fame, right? At the moment, the kill duo is only Earth Spirit.
Storm is a tough
5
lane,
seconds
but
remaining.
very nice in the game. BKB Storm just solves every issue Liquid's draft has, but it does make them pretty greedy. So it's already a really difficult slaughter game. The lane will be rough, and then Venom wards just make trying to posture around a fight very difficult.
Wind Ranger at Choose your hero.
Oh, okay, they go for win. Nice.
Yeah, you like it?
I don't mind it because when you're on as a hero, it's weak when there is instant tower pressure, and Smashers don't really have that built in. Their Venomancer should, in theory, dominate the side lane and have jungle control, but there isn't any kind of like overwhelming mid lane pressure that forces the winner to feel that bad. And if you fully greed up, there isn't clean lockdown on Smashers. Winrun is a hero that buys BKB, Maelstrom, Axe, and you have to get stunned, otherwise you're going to be win-running non-stop throughout the fight. So I like the idea of Liquid's draft where it's less about winning lanes, just survive lanes, hit up big time and get an Aegis, and then we'll be able to run around. So yes, it's all about Smashers. They need to get the most out of the lanes. Stormstormer has to pop off and pivot and get kills with Rasmus and just make the map feel small. And then maybe there's a window, but for scaling and the win condition, Liquid has it.
Will it be as fast of a game as last time then if Liquid get their way?
I don't know. I actually think this might go to a third game. This is the bread and butter for Hellbear Smashers, and I think that their draft's much better at addressing the way Liquid like to play. You know, they want to get tempo, they want to be really aggressive. It's much harder to do that when you have strong counter initiation. You have the advantage of having a Deuce Veno that sort of just makes this ball impenetrable, and I think they're going to punish Liquid.
All right. So you think it's going to go to game 3? You do not think it?
I mean, it should, because I think Carl's point was pretty good there about the whole idea of essence of what Smashers have.
Yeah.
And yeah, if they're playing their exact lineup that they're normally used to playing, so it should go to game 3.
Okay.
If they don't mess up.
All right, a lot of pressure. Don't mess up is the advice from my panel here for Hellbear Smashers if they want to see a third game against Team Liquid. We're going to find out if they indeed do not mess up together with Moxie and Purge.
Gosh, that doesn't sound hopeful at all. If they don't mess up, my goodness. But yeah, you know, the Hellbear Smashers, they're bringing out stuff that they feel comfortable on. And the interesting thing I was thinking, Purge, is the fact that they have a lot of heroes that like the fight being brought to them, right? You've got a Venomancer who can sit in the lane. You've got a Medusa who also just kind of wants to, you know, just stay there and just shoot at things around her. Is this going to pay off for them, though?
It can. If you're forcing objectives and your opponents are forced to deal or respond to you, then it can work absolutely, especially with Abaddon backing those heroes up. It's absolutely can be a huge deal and make it harder for Liquid to engage them. But with that said, they still have pretty strong lane heroes. Taiga has consistently in every game he's played Enchantress won his lane and dominated the mid game in an effective way. And they've also it's kind of like similar features on the Liquid side as well. Warlock is better at being defensive. Enchantress will be the person in the front line that's going to make it difficult for Hellbear Smashers to initiate. So I think I love the fact that Liquid has better capabilities to get solo kills across the map or gank better. With the exception of reacting to either Venomancer or Dusa being tank frontline. It just should be easier for Liquid to get kills.
Well, we will have to see, because historically, you know, Hellbear Smashers, they like to take it to game 3. They enjoy, you know, trying to take that game number 2 and evening out the odds. But definitely a bit scary from what Liquid have coming out here with the draft. But again, like we said, a lot of these kind of bread and butter picks, you know, we've seen plenty of Tofu on that Abaddon. He'll be able to go and just try to keep people alive, tank up a lot of that damage too. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see who's going to be making the first moves.
Oh, both players messing up their blocks. Sumo easy breezy mess up block at the tier 2, and then Stormstormer let one through as well. So everybody sucks in the mid lane.
I was gonna say something nice, Purge. I was gonna be like, one person. What is happening? When are you the positive one in this duo? What happened to you over there? I'm gonna just blame it on the fact that you're lonely because you're not hanging out over here.
So far, come to the last hit lane, so it'll be a major thing happening.
Such a Purge way of being positive. It'll be okay. It's fine. Sorry. Continue.
It's really hard to point a major. Torments are very strong laning, particularly against both. That last pick is generally going to be seen as great for Rasmus here in the safe lane. Decent harassment potential against Slardar, and Tofu should be able to offset a lot of the major damage coming from Slardar. But Medusa is a really slow hero, so she's got to be a little bit careful if Taiga's able to get it picked up. If a sentry coming, he does. 2 sentries on the way. So he should be able to use those to regain control of the large camp, and then with the large camp, probably bully Abaddon and the Medusa.
This lane feels like it is going to be a bit of a struggle here for the Smashers. You can see Tofu can, but obviously it has to be careful in his positioning, especially as you get more levels online for the Enchantress and the Slardar.
For now, great damage so far by Taiga. Still got Salve. Here comes his more extra. Actually, doesn't have any more regen past the Salve, so it'll be a little bit weak after this. But he will be able to deward the camp now. So maybe large creep at 3 minutes. We'll see.
Top lane, Rasmus doing the best that he can. Do get the water and snapped up here by Storm. Storm a little sidestep there, making sure that doesn't immediately get cancelled. And Simel should be able to bag himself the one on the top rune spot. I think a pretty even matchup though right now. You know, 14-0, 12-1. No one's really running away with the game yet.
I would say that Wind Ranger is a slightly more proven mid-hero right now. Most of the co-op games we've seen have felt a little bit inadequate. With that said, she just got little buffs to Scream of Pain. The mana cost at later stages is not as bad. It's basically the same early, but it has a better AoE and a little bit less mana, so she should be able to accelerate farm. In fact, Stormtrooper didn't get Shadow Strike at all. And that's pretty fair, because realistically, she's not going to be able to kill Wind Ranger, because you have to use Dagger and a lot of right clicks to kill people. So if Sumail could just run away in dangerous moments, it's just not worth trying to outharass. So he'll just go for farming instead. Maybe that'll make it feel better.
Bottom lane, Koifa collecting the first blood. You could see Tofu knew he was dying there, made sure that he got off one of those miscoils right off the end. That way he could just be as efficient as possible and keep Medusa's health topped up. But again, it's like difficult lane.
People well, if I could still suicide, I would have suicided there, you know?
That's definitely possible.
Rotting on Pudge right before you're about to die for sure. Same. Priest's Void struggling a little bit here, but he's getting a lot of heals from Warlocks. That's definitely offsetting his this normally very difficult lane.
I mean, I feel like we see this a lot coming out from Insania in particular. He's usually on a hero that's able to either, you know, replenish health or replenish mana, right? Because we had that whole stint where Keeper of the Light was very, very strong. So he's playing a lot of that. Otherwise, you know, you see him on the Oracle, you see him on the Warlock, things that are going to help his core stay in the lane and, you know, provide that sustenance.
Yeah, it's really important. Absolutely.
Radiant's middle tower
he gets a
shouldn't have
side
to
pull.
take this abuse.
Didn't get a stack off though.
It
He had
looks like
blocked earlier
Dire
the center
fortified
ward,
their
but still very good
structures.
for lane control here. Mickey hits level 4, still struggling on regen a little bit. Is about to hit 3. This is going to give a much better heal towards Mickey. An extra 120 HP every time.
Over here on Smash. Just look at this immediately backing up. Centaur though, just running over. We'll put out a little bit of damage here. But that's
fine.
scary.
I mean, if he uses Enchant offensively, they can just dispel it with Aphotic Shield. So like they are definitely forced to back up right now while counter pushes the lane and gets the last hits. But you know, the center will go away, and then he's gonna have to go grab another one if he wants to keep being aggressive. There's a Satyr Tormentor he could grab though, over by his Ancients. So pressure continues.
I'm just thinking in terms of, you know, if they're able to stun lock up Tofu there, that could be potentially a problem because he can't shield himself if he is the one who is indeed stunned up. So I don't think the play yet, I don't think, is going after it. Ace.
Probably not. Mid lane's still really even here. Stormstorm are getting more mana due to having blink capabilities. Rasmus is low.
He's taking down thanks to these fatal bonds. They're just kind of, it's like a little bit of a flirtation on this top line. You see Rasmus, you know, dishing out a bunch of damage, Mickey just backtracking, or, you know, having Insania heal him back up, and then they go back in for another play, but they feel your count, you know, it just back and forth here. We haven't seen any hard committals, it feels, for sure.
Yeah, I would not want to play this lane, just like if I was Faces Void, if I didn't have Warlock. It's doable here, but without Warlock, it would just be awful.
Oh no, the Hellbear Smasher! He's turned on his family. He's a traitor. That's fine though.
It'll die now. Just a little bit of, just did a little clap. Now it's gonna run away. Camp is, and he's got another one. He's been able to keep the whole camp unblocked here on Taiga's side and in the small cap with the sentry as well. So
Radiant have fortified their
a little bit more
structures.
experience, gives Quake tons of denies. He's got 12 already here. And that's going to put Medusa a little bit behind where they would want to be. And there aren't really any stacks made yet either. They're constructing the motivation that top.
Might be able to use a Sonic Wave, and they take down Mickey. Easy, easy. There's not any way that Insanity can save him from that this time around.
Yeah, and that wouldn't happen if his full HP, honestly. Like, keeping his HP at around, what, 80, 70, 80%? It was enough with the Rolling Boulder and the Smash and the ulti. So, still no dagger point, but they've got the tower. That is a huge play by Hellbear Smashers, actually. They actually kept the Void down a little bit.
Bottom lane, the bashes are real. Oh, that power shot not connecting, but it still is. Koifa will get the kill on Tofu, and Taiga will get Ace's courier. They're still making plays down here. They want this kill. Gilgir has made his way down, though, but there's just too much damage coming out from Sumail. So they'll get that kill. Looks like Koifa probably going to pay for this, as Stormstormer is also here.
Careful for Liquid, getting 2 kills for the one. They're not going to take the power, unfortunately, but Sumail got some experience, got some good power shots in. Not the worst. Insania picking up some levels on the mid lane. Now that the safe lane has been, now that that tower's dead, there's no reason for Insania to try to play top anymore. It's just way too dangerous because the rundown distance is so far. There's no safety from a tower. He basically has to TP every time. So they'll just pick up levels on the mid lane to try to get 6 faster, but losing that safe lane tower is going to make things tough. Mickey's not going to be able to get as many creep kills. Venomancer's going to be able to control the jungle very well. He picked up a fast tranquil boots to basically offset any regen needs he has, and he's going to go for a Veil afterwards. A great way to amplify Venomancer's damage and his teammates as well. Very good with Queen of Pain and Magnetize first grid as well, so this fast Veil will be really useful.
See that they're just kind of struggling here to push Rasmus out of this lane. And again, this is a hero that he really enjoys playing, knows the ins and outs very, very well. So it will be difficult here unless they have a large rotation to get rid of this pesky Hydralisk.
Smoke under a ward by Pain and Earth Spirit. They definitely saw that one, so we'll see how they react. Stormstormer's almost got Blink maxed out, still hasn't gotten Shadow Strike yet. Kind of an interesting build, but absolutely can work here. And it looks like Insania is going to be the one that tanks it here. Gets spotted by the Plague Ward. He's only level 4 hero, though.
Oh, they go right past him. Stormstormer, no, should be happy with this. They have to be careful they don't line up too hard. Here's Insania taking down. They're going for the Chronosphere. They take down Insania, but Sumail's here, and they're just bursting down this Queen of Pain plus the Shackle power shot coming out. Down will go Stormstormer. Now Mickey chasing after Gilgir is just going to push them away from his jungle.
That's the power of seeing the smoke. They absolutely knew there was a rotation coming. They moved Insania towards a tower. Sumail TP'd at the perfect time. Mickey was in perfect position, so getting the Stormstormer kill absolutely makes it worth it.
Top lane, they're still hunting. They want to get rid of Rasmus. Mickey has had enough of this bullying. The Veil won't go out. A couple of these bashes, though. Mickey needs a little bit of help here. I think he's going to be all right. It's going to be very close here. But no, he's got that heal on him. He's got the backtrack. He is fine. As Taiga here in the bottom lane, he's just poking at Tofu. Does have to be careful because there is Stormstormer making his own rotation. Off for Wolf, just nibbling over here. But you can see that Stormstormer's here. Taiga playing very carefully here, just like, it's all right. Oh, maybe they go back in, though. There's Koifa. No Blink Dagger just yet. Double Fluffy hat on the Enchantress.
A little surprised Rasmus did get 2 points in Venomous. Huge damage increase. With that said, Poison Sting is amazing against faces, so maybe that's part of the reason. But I wonder if he would have died, maybe if he had more Gale. But if he had his ulti and a lot of enough mana, it would have gone to kill 2. Either way, it's fine. Still making space. They push out the lane, so Meke is going to jungle now. He's got Possessed Mask as well, a great item to accelerate his jungling. And the network is still even, so everything's pretty fine for Liquid despite the early tower death.
Look at Koifa. He knows that Tofu has just been sticking around here. He was hunting, but he will teleport out. Doesn't want anything to do with Koifa. Doesn't want to help accelerate his Blink Dagger. And Taiga's just taking over woods here. They've got a lot of map presence right now coming out from the side of Liquid.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. They've got Infernal Golem as well, so if Insania is playing his Void, he can help offset any potential deaths here. Break smoke. So they're going to kill the Sentry Ward for free to protect their ward. Rasmus is still a little hesitant to invade. He's got the Veil, so he has lots of damage, but his survivability is not super high. There's another Sentry. They'll probably get the ward through now.
I mean, they spot Mickey over here. Gonna try to take some of these last hits. Try to bully Mickey a little bit, too. They're managing to do it. They have Gilgir nearby if they wanted to try to hard commit, but I think going down to the low ground, it's a little bit too scary for them. They're very close to the tower.
They're
Doesn't
beating
look
on
like they're going
Dire's
to
top
quite chance
tower.
it. But Rasmus will be as obnoxious as possible with his Venomancer and try to bully him out of the jungle, which he does succeed in doing.
Middle
Succeeding,
tower
yeah,
is
that
under
part is going
attack.
really good for him. Lost the
Are those
catapult top for
cracks in
Stormstormer,
Dire's
unfortunately.
top
But, Orchid's getting a little closer, and forcing Void to cross the
I
map a
guess
little bit has
Radiant
been
fortified
helpful.
their structures.
Hellbear Smashers
Radiant's
are
middle tower
effectively
could use some
warded
help.
into the jungle as well,
They're
so
beating
you know
on
that they can
Dire's
control
top
this now.
tower.
This is pretty good for Veno, but on the same vein, the same thing's happening on the other side of the map. Liquid's finally invading the enemy side of the map. Sumail has Maelstrom finished. He could dive this. A little dangerous.
There's a lot of people nearby. Taiga. All right, Koifa's here. The blink is then revealed as they get the jump over here onto Tofu. He's not level 6 just yet. They go and they drop the rock. They'll chase them right away here. Tofu's kicking down to these bonds that were on the back lines. They're just going to push them away with the magnetize. But that is, of course, the chaotic offering that just got dropped, and they didn't manage.
Trying to save. Really bad. They're farming on Mickey, which is still good for them. His net worth is a little bit lower, but not out of the realm of possibilities. Kind of curious to see what Sumail does item-wise. Maelstrom is the standard Wind Ranger build. I really like the Mjolnir build right now as an item to transition to.
Not
MKB
much
does
good's
atrocious
happening to
damage
Radiant's
per
bottom
hit
tower.
compared to what it used to do. It used to
Come
do like
on,
75 magic damage per hit. Now it does like 44 or something.
Koifa just showing up and is going to get deleted here by Sumail. Nice jump there coming out from Koifa.
And that Blink Dagger changes everything now. Because now Rasmus, who doesn't have very many survivability items, can't defend himself if he gets gone on like that.
It's scary. Oh, there's the Chronosphere catching over onto 2. The Sabatin's not going to be able to keep Ace alive as they're following up. Koifa gets a nice dash off. We'll follow up with the crash the line up here with the trees. We'll have that borrowed time proc over here, and Liquid will take the middle tower.
Radiant's middle tower go.
Didn't actually have Stone Gaze yet, but Chronosphere guarantees to kill either way. Not too uncommon to delay it. But the tower finally falls, and now Liquid has the map control, and they have a Slaughter, so good luck, Hellbears. You guys got to fight into this. But Sumail's positioned really well. Let's get Gale. He's in a little bit of trouble here. Don't have a huge kill. We'll force him out.
The Orchid now is completed for the Queen of Pain. So that is going to allow Stormstormer to make a couple more plays around the map. But the way that Liquid has been playing has been very tight, very grouped together. And it feels like whenever one of them is roaming, or rather whenever Koifa is roaming, let's put it that way, there's usually a +1 nearby. Oh, okay, there it is. There's Feel the Orchid. There's the Sonic Wave. Is it going to be enough then to take down Sumail? He's ticking down, yes. They'll be able to find that kill. Gilgir still hunting. Chase after Insania here. We'll roll backwards. But focusing over here onto this tower, Tofu's just going to heal up Stormstormer. And they're going to continue to put on pressure. Koifa standing nearby, though. Just have to be careful. This is very obnoxious to play into when you're a Slarta with a Blink, is that every time you're just going to get hit with some of these disgusting little Hydraless wards. Like wards.
Not bad. Hellbear Smashers fighting back really effectively. To get that, the force them out of Roshan. The Orchid is going to be really useful against all these cores. Basically, the only one that's a little survivable is Slardar. But Void and Wind Ranger are very vulnerable to not being able to cast spells, and that's why both of them, or at least Wind Ranger is going for a fast BKB after Maelstrom. This is also extremely standard. You need to get this because too many disables counter Wind Ranger, but once you get BKB, then it allows you to keep playing the game. But that was a huge kill. Who got the gold? Stormstormer did, so going to catapult him even closer to his next item. See where he goes next. Sanj Yasha would be pretty... Sorry, Sanj Kaya would be good on Queen of Pain, maybe.
Oh, dear. Ace getting... Too, with the 2 fluffy hats, medallion and whatnot. My goodness.
Medallion too, really effective. 5 more minus armor. That's basically half of Slaughter ulti, so Deuce has got to be careful. When her mana gets drained, minus armor is really dangerous.
Like they want to make a play, and they find themselves Gilgir. They'll be able to go shackle him up momentarily. They need to block off. Oh, they don't even need to. Never mind. Koifa finishes off Gilgir. Says, get out of my jungle.
Really nice catch there. They'll retake their jungle, get some V-warding down here. Zania is so happy about 50 gold for sentries at this exact moment. Let's get...
I was confused about that. Like, they both just kind of sat there for a minute in terms of like, wait a minute, I gotta finish up this creep. wait, and then Koifa's like, what am I doing? Jumps forward, but still, yeah, blinks away.
I think they were both looking on the mini map directly rather than on
They're both
stream.
shopping, you know? That we instant jump there. Perhaps they were waiting also, you know, more backup. Who knows?
I got taken the because he's a little bit more survivable right now, but quite a little fish for kills.
Dire's courier has been killed. They always go after the courier.
Those plague wards, man, they are obnoxious. As Rasmus, again, he is leading the charge into this jungle, and he's just being a thorn in their side as they jump forward over here. They go and they drop the chaotic offering. They're going to try to re-engage. Sonic Wave comes out, though. Koifa's already hit now. Insania running for his life, but Taiga joining into the fight here. Mickey looking for the opportunity. He just can't seem to find his Insania over on the side. He is going to go down.
Those things aren't cheap.
Taiga just
disengage.
chipping away over on the other lines of Koifa, finding Stormstormer, gets a nice bash off. They need more, and they'll be able to have the lockdown. The Chronosphere, Sumail coming in hot with that power shot. Now Ace, he's already used the Stone Gaze. Sumail out on his heels. He wants this. He's hoping he can line up the Shackle. We'll be able to go and land it over here onto Misery. Tofu coming in with those aphotic shields, buys a little bit more time. Taiga having to be careful, did get hit with that Veil. They need to just clear out all of it from their jungle.
It's really hard to deal with these right now because they're just preventing Koifa from reinitiating. Him getting Galed as well making a huge difference, but surprising that they were able to kill Quap. It was very, very close. The Chronosphere jump was just on the edge, right as his blink was coming through. Great pickup with another shawl as well. Excellent on most agility carries because you have tons of armor, and getting just all this, like a free hood better than a hood, is amazing against magic nukes like Quap and Venos. So this is the perfect item for Mickey here.
I don't think it's ever a bad game to find a shawl. There's always someone on your team that can use it. Just
yeah, it's my favorite neutral item for sure. I love getting in a lot of games.
roll forward, trying to grab Taiga to get the signs off Insania, trying to keep him alive with the Shadow Word. Another roll forward here from Gilgir with the kickbacks to Mel. He wants this though, is going to be able to go and shackle Gilgir over here to the tree. He's going to burn him down very quickly, and they still haven't managed to kill Taiga with all of this healing. Over on the side, the Koifa is getting kited. Rasmus, though, is going to try to get protected here by Tofu. Still kiting, still looking for this opportunity. Sumail, though, clicking away, trying to get some more of this damage. We'll be able to go pop the shield again. Another one being tossed out immediately. Nice power shot coming through as Ace is wandering back in.
It's a fun game. They're spending so much time near each other, but it's like kind of difficult to fully commit to a fight, but they can cover each other. So it's a little bit, it's not quite as bursty as most of the games we watch, but it makes for some interesting play, a lot of decisions. BKB's been ready for Sumail that whole fight, by the way. He's just holding it. He knows he doesn't quite need it yet. If he gets drawn on in a bad position, he's going to pop it. But for now, it's just going to guarantee that he gets to continue playing the solo killer for the rest of the game. And if you don't play Wind Ranger like that and you don't get to a position where you can continue getting kills, you're going to struggle on this here a little bit. But he's going to perfect build and he's queuing up Axe afterwards.
I feel like how Taiga is now set into the role of cleaning out the jungle. He's basically the janitor over here. For Team Liquid, trying to get rid of all of these pesky plague words, because Rasmus has been an absolute thorn in their side. He's definitely playing this hero very nicely, and bringing a lot of attention over to him and allowing Ace to get that farm up, because he's sitting pretty nicely there. Not quite as high as Sumail, right? 9.9k on Sumail, but Ace sitting at 9.5. So
Just a little unsure how Medusa's gonna do against a hero like Wind Ranger. Like, I feel like Wind Ranger's just gonna beat her as the game continues, if their network stays the same. Because no matter what, like, Wind Ranger has incredible single target damage because of focus fire. And Medusa, yeah, she does a lot of AoE damage, but she doesn't do well against a Wind Ranger, period. Like, you just use Wind Run and you run away. It's that simple. So I just feel like if they keep this net worth distribution and we fast forward 20 minutes of the game, I just feel like Liquid's gonna have the advantage.
simply a problem that they don't have a whole heck of a lot of catch coming out from the side of Hellbear Smashers. They have plenty of slow, obviously, when you take into account that they have this. Oh, they jump forward immediately. Roll forward here, over onto Sonic Wave. It's just not enough to kill him right off, though eventually Stormstormer will collect the kill.
Best feelings in the world.
That wouldn't hurt too much. Maybe a mistake for Taiga not to go with it this game. I feel like some magic resistance there would keep him alive, but it's still a lot of magic burst, so. And they have a Veil too. Like, magic resistance would be pretty solid this game. A little surprised he didn't go for it, but maybe wanted to go this Hurricane Pike instead of the Hurricane Pike, the Dragonlance, just to deal with the wards better. It's not a terrible idea, but maybe in that they lost that tower right there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Here they go, blink in, silence. There's the dagger, the ultimate, the full follow, flop, just a ton of magic damage. Took him away from the tower to lower his chance to. I mean, he was a little close to living. It was pretty. I feel like if he had a cloak, he might have lived. If he had a hood, he definitely would have lived there.
That or just the fact that, you know, he was silenced. If he got the sprites off, perhaps he could have survived for it. No, lots of could have, should have, would have. But over here on the side, Gilgear, he gets spotted out, and he is going to be a sacrifice to Sumail.
Not much good's happening.
And they're in the Roche pit, though. It's taking quite a while, though. I'm not sure. And look at the scan. They know. They're on their way. Tofu has to be a bit careful. He's been trying to tank it up. Looks like they'll trade over here on Ace. Are they going to contest those actions? Going to get there fast enough.
They got the third bot.
I don't know.
Healed.
Got he's right. So he's gonna just wander into the pit. He's just gonna get used up. So Ace will be able to get the Aegis, but the follow-up is immediate now. Sumail looking for that last, not gonna be able to quite find as the stone Ace gets popped from Ace. Doesn't want to have to deal with this, especially now that Stormer has just picked up a fresh BKB. So he's gonna be able to create more chaos in these fights.
That is gonna help for sure. So Liquid does get some map control. At least they didn't take the shrine before they crossed the map, but they regained theirs. Again, I think they're like, it's not great for their opponents like Aegis, obviously, but I think this is not that bad considering. I don't really see them picking up a Medusa in a game generally, but this does give the Hellbear Smashers the ability to maybe force some last year. But I don't really see the Aegis as like a huge worry for Team Liquid because they have such strong team fight. They've got Golem, they've got Chronosphere. They can shackle two people pretty much every time after a Chrono's completed. So looking at a really fast stun here, and if Smashers are not careful, they're going to get team fight wiped here, regardless of the Aegis.
I was going to ask if this would be more of a farming Aegis for Ace, just to, you know, a little bit more time, an insurance policy sort of thing. So I didn't think that Smashers were going to be super aggressive, but you do see them invading, and there is a courier over here. It's going to be immediately ripped down by Stormer. Sumail doesn't have anything on it, but
You already got delivered.
Radiant's top tower deserves just as
Farming,
much
yes,
help as bottom.
basically. That's how I see it for sure. I just a lot to be a little bit aggressive in their positioning, but once they get a pick off, I don't really see the tower. Rasmus doing the right thing. He's cutting the bot creep wave that they caught mid and bot. It becomes very difficult for their opponents to push, but it's going to rotate Sumail to this mid lane, to enemy mid lane as well. He's almost for sure to cut the next creep wave, and they just don't want to engage right now, which is a little dangerous. And in the same vein, make a train bottom. Knowing that he's relatively difficult to kill, they don't have solutions now that he has Fanta.
And, well, he's got the axe completed here for Ace. They'll throw down the upheaval, try to slow them down just a little bit. The Sonic Wave, oh, it's not close enough.
Oh, no. The zero times combo, Moxie. You don't need an Arcana for that one.
No, you don't. That's an oof, for sure. They are rotating back bottom now. They want to deal with Mickey. I don't believe they have vision. The roll forward. Oh, they have the Yules, though. They can set up the silence as well. They've got the veil. This is the kind of damage that they're talking about, although they don't manage to quite land that over here. Does have the magnetize, though, on Mickey, and he's just trying to run away from the Gale. He's got that poison sting on him, and it's just so slow. But where's your lockdown here? Where's your lockdown, Smashers?
That was insane patience from Mickey. I would have meant it off that, like the Earth Spirit silence or the Kill or something. He was just terrified that Quaff was going to show up at any time and hit him immediately afterwards, and then he would die. But he just was patient the whole time. He knew he was relatively safe. They basically get a lot out of that movement for Liquid. They pushed everything they wanted. They sniped the courier, they cut the mid wave, cut the bot wave, and eventually Hellbear Smashers had to back up. They didn't get the tier 2 tower. They didn't use any big cooldowns, and it just is a little bit closer to going away now. So great movements there by Liquid. They've almost got Ags on Wind Ranger, which is going to give them a lot of evasion. 30% basic mix now. It doesn't give as much movement speed as before, but still will be. So here's the roll in, the gank on Enchantress. Look how quick he is with that healing ward on him. Upheaval helps a lot too.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
That was really close. That was actually really close. It wouldn't have killed him. It was still a poor use
middle
of the
tower
ultimate,
isn't
but
going to last long.
Sounded like the slow on Quap's ulti sounded like the old like AT&T like
Radiant's top
call.
tower deserves just
sounds
as
like
much
Right?
help as
weird,
Didn't
bottom.
it?
like jingle.
Yeah. I wonder if that had anything to
Texting
do
was
with
like really fancy. You're like, you got to pay 10 cents every time you send a
Radiant's
text.
Now I'm talking even older than that, dude. I'm talking the before texting. Not going all the way back to rotary phones, but Definitely sounded very strange there as Mickey putting some pressure here on this top tower. And everyone's really kind of spread out. You can see the Smashers are focusing over on the tier 2 in the bottom area.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Trying to just get something done here. They're still working on the tier. The cheap price of 322, we can roll.
Have that kind of money. This game is going so good for Liquid right now. Mickey just takes it tier 2 tower on pressure. They're doing such a good job. And Koikva's playing in the area. That way, if anybody comes back to counter push this, they can get a kill. He sits here.
TP.
And yeah, Smashers take a tier 1, but all right, it's going to be Gilger. Let's see if he gets...
He takes the bait.
He's coming too.
Oh, the roll forward immediately. Eventually, yeah, there it is. Koikva jumping right on in. They do have the size, but he's got the Manta, like we talked about. He's going to be able to backtrack away. There's hunting over here on the side, but oh, Koikva pops the BKB, just takes down Gilger. The tide. I think we've yet to see like one really big team fight, Urge.
It's difficult for Hellbears to force Liquid to fight, and Liquid is just way ahead of time, anticipating what's going to happen. So that's why, like, when they get at buildings, Mickey's like already threatening tier 3s. They're just reading the map and reading what Hellbears are doing, and it's difficult for Hellbears to stop because of the nature of their heroes. Madden does not contribute to ganks at all. He's a counter initiator support. First Grade is great at initiating, as is Quaff, but that's it. Venomancer is just okay. Gale is very counterable here, and having Time Walk to be destroyed for it already just enough.
It's concerned that they don't have this lockdown as quite immediately. The size comes out from Stormstormer, but the shackle and latches off to the side. Sumail's just going to rip him apart as Koikva will be the one who gets the kill.
That was cool. Nice play by Koikva to basically keep this hero in that position. I didn't see exactly how it started, but he knew his BKB was gone. Really. Oh,
I think
that's an X. That's an X on Medusa.
Yeah, he's had that.
Stuns.
He has had that for a bit here. It's okay.
We talked about that way early.
Roll on in, but they have to be careful. Mickey is here. They put a decent amount of damage. They do have the BKB, so Gilger will fall. They have to be careful again. They've got Insania nearby. He does have the chaotic offering. You've got many things if they want to go back in. That Shadow Word Shard also helping quite a bit here, but
problems.
I don't know. How do you approach this fight right now if you're Hellbear Smashers? Because, you know, you've got heroes that want to stand their ground, that want you to come to them. And look at this. Rasmus here. He's trying. He's being as pesky as he can, but it just doesn't feel quite as effective as he used to be. As Sumail, when running over, look for the Jackal, manages to lose it. They get the spotted shield, but look at the damage coming out. It's just not looking like Rasmus is going to be able to survive this as the power shot comes through, and down goes Venomancer.
Sumail does basically an infinite amount of damage with focus fire. It's just way too much to keep him alive, and they just don't have good enough AoE stuns to offset it. Yeah, the Venomancer did pretty good in the lane, but not quite good enough. And yeah, Deuce is going to make up for some of these stun deficiencies with the Ags build, but the game's feeling really hard for Hellbear. It just feels like Liquid is not really punishable.
I'm also concerned because look at the vision that Liquid has up and around the map too. It's just so hard for the Smashers to get out of their base and to farm or do anything because they, you know, look at this. We're even seeing now that Gilger says, we got to get rid of these wards. We're going to get ourselves, you know, a gem, try to make some space again, but the thing out Liquid is just so scary.
When a mind break drop, perfect range. It's basically like it's better than a javelin. It's insanely valuable for his single target damage. I wouldn't be really surprised if he doesn't use that.
They see Gilger, they can see Ace walking on by, and immediately the follow up here from some
Mega kill!
Has been killed.
It's just chase on the off base here. Medusa is jogging home, doesn't want anything to do with this, but Sumail is looking for that latch here. Wants to get the shackle off. Won't be able to go and find Raz. This is more than happy with this as they just burst him down. Unstoppable. And, oh, okay, Mickey's just, you know, playing around with Ace. A polite hello, goodbye. We're coming for your buildings.
Giving him the taunt. This is basically effective for him to have charge because the Chronosphere, like, they have so much room to play with. He can just, like, say, like, am I chronoing now or is it going to be later? And it's just going to force Smashers to have to play so much more defensive. Like, genuinely doing moves like that and just making your opponents feel uncomfortable, it's huge in pro games because it just makes them feel like they can't leave each other because at any moment that chrono could be real. And there's like no punish either for him doing that because their disables are weak.
Regeneration.
Almost have a completed Desolator now for Sumail. So already gotten a nice present in the form of a gem, and he's just got a lot of control this game. Just the way that Liquid is playing together and with the lockdown that they have, it's too scary for Smashers here. Oh my gosh. You're just trying to do, you know, a little bit of something here. As look at the power shots, will sidestep it nicely. Storm was providing some support there, saying, you can do it, buddy, you can sidestep it, but otherwise can't do much of anything else.
His damage is just a little bit low. Hadn't picked up the Mindbreaker yet, but they're looking pretty good for Liquid across the map. Their wards are great. Mickey gets to play up aggressive. Basically, all of their heroes just feel unkillable at this point. And you have to worry about Slaughter jumping out of nowhere and killing you. In the meantime, he's been farming, picking up Ags here. Haven't seen one of these in a while, but it's still a great item.
Just puddles everywhere.
Regen, armor, and status resistance. It goes in. So very effective for initiating.
All right, Perch, how many Plague Wards do you think have been weeded out by Liquid?
I'm going to say 40, I guess.
I'm going to go with
41.
48. 42? Oh, man. Oh, no. Rasmus been caught in the middle of the puddle. He is just obliterated here as they go, and they find themselves a Guild Gear over here on the side. Stonegate does get used. See, Mickey is going to take a little bit of time off here on the side, and he's looking for the Chronosphere. He just goes in immediately, finds himself this Medusa. The rest of the team is here. They've got plenty of damage, but they do get the Sonic Wave off, so they'll bash them up. And again, they follow up with that cave offer. And she's tanky, but she's not tanky enough, Purge, because down goes Medusa. And the hunt is on. They're chasing after Rasmus. They'll be able to find the Venomancer. Tofu now running for his life, but Mickey says, come back here. He still wants this as he just chases after him. He's looking to get these bashes up. He's like, okay, you know, maybe I'll back off. Feels like Koifa doesn't want to, though, but no, he does not. As he chases Tofu all the way into the base, the Bash Brothers are real, and Smell will clean up over on Stormer. Easy breezy.
Yeah, it's got the Mindbreak. The Destiny, easy kill. And everybody on Liquid is so farmed. Everyone has items this game. Ags on Warlock, they just feel like they can do whatever they want because their cores are tanky enough.
They are doing whatever they want, Kurt.
So they just, like one or two of the heroes can just always be hitting creeps. Normally you have to sit as 5 like all game because the margins are so thin and staying alive. But just the draft matchups as the game continued here were just so good for Team Liquid.
The racks are going down.
Middle barracks.
There's no buyback over on the side of Smashers. They are just going for the finish here over here on Liquid. Sandy just dropping down the upheaval. Says, stay in your base. You don't want to come out here. Tanic fixed up now here for Mickey. It's just looking a little too difficult, but they'll throw out the fortification. Look at Ace, he's so slow. Mickey running, boops him on the nose, and goes right back to towers again. Doesn't want to get too overeager here. He's looking again, time dilation. The jump over here onto Rasmus. Had enough, like we said. This Venomancer has been a thorn in their sides. So the disarm over on the side, but Tyga's just dishing out the damage over here onto Rasmus. Mickey gets the kill. And now it is Ace over on the back lines. They chased after Gilgear. They'll get that kill. And there's just no mono left here over on Ace. Mickey, though, he doesn't want to stare at her beautiful face just yet. It eventually does turn to stone again, but they'll go right back to hitting the buildings. No, he wants this. He wants this really badly. We'll end up progging, but he went just a little bit too far. That puddle gives you some regen. Not quite enough there, friend.
Good luck.
They're trying. They find out. They're going in again. The Sonic Wave. Can they blow up Mickey? Is the question. It's not looking like it's going to be enough because Gilgear, he will fall. This BKB over in Stormstormer is nice, but it's not enough to protect him as this Medusa tried to dish out as much as she can, but she's getting stunned up. Koifa getting into position. And look at these split shots. She's trying. She's doing everything, but Ace is just not got the damage to take it down the side of Liquid. Stormstormer gets chased down. The GG gets called. Liquid will take this in a 2-0 sweep.
Really well played by Team Liquid. They got past the dangerous part of the game. The laning stage for Void was dangerous. Veno does a huge amount of damage, but they offset it with the heals and some safe play. They did die once, just some rotations, and Quap's Fast Orchid was certainly a threat to a lot of their cores.
Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out to pray. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. I was deaf to the ringing bells, wanting me to break, deafened by the sirens, soothing lies. I can't leave, I am in too deep, been sinking for a while, prisoner to the same thing I despise, devoted to a fake. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out to pray. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out to pray. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. Living every day